I am on official business. Unless you've been sent by the Alpha army, we have no reason to speak. I was a soldier once, in the years before the Crystal War. I saw many die at Gallifore Fields. You could say I learned my lesson. I'm here as a recruiter for the Alpha army. My superiors believe there's still fresh blood to be wrung from the Forsaken Plain. They're wrong, of course. Let's just say I'm glad I'm not one of them. War is harsh on many people in many ways. Those of us who can avoid the suffering should. Ask anyone and you'll get the same answer. They're animals. They care nothing for the mortal races. We're just dust to them. Enough! Keep your voice down. You're right. I'm a scoundrel and a coward. But you would have done the same thing. Give me a chance to make it right. You have my word, as a father. My informing days are over. Good riddance.
What do you want? Do you always approach strangers out in the wild? It's a bad habit, to be sure. What kind of question is that? You want to know about the Tuatha? Go back to Tawili. Gaze at the fires that never cease. There's your education. What was I supposed to do? The Tuatha will sow terror far beyond Tawili to the depths of Dalentarth if they can. I only did it for the money. But I will never do it again, you have my word. Spare me, please. Bye.
Remarkable. The treasures of Culm. They are more beautiful than I remember. This is truly an achievement, one that will shape the days to come, I promise you. You will have it, as you deserve something equal to the great service you have done me and the refugees. I have acquired many tools and weapons during this long journey west. I have set them aside to use in constructing New Culm, but I now offer them to you. You are welcome to one item from my private hoard as thanks. Erlich will accompany you, of course. His spear may come in handy along the way. Goodbye. You should follow Erlich. Your reward awaits.
I'm not in the mood to talk. Well, here we are. It's time to get started. And by that I mean I'm supposed to kill you, here, away from the eyes of the refugees. As you've probably guessed, there is no reward. There never was. Kras is probably halfway to Rathir by now. Never trust nobles, my friend, even false ones. Now, I'm not in the mood for killing at the moment, but orders are orders. I suppose you're right. He never did treat me well, tricky fellow. You know what? You go and give him a scare. Bloated fool deserves it. think our business has been finished. Enjoy your freedom. I know I will enjoy mine. I detested the man, but I needed the coin. Now I'm free of him and can live on my own terms. Luckily, he paid me well, so that I may live the rest of my days in comfort.
Some of us fought, but the Tuatha, they have a lust for battle. We were easily overrun, and our farms burned.
Stop staring at me. I'm not doing anything strange. You're the outsider here. I worked in my uncle's granary. I hated it. But I guess that doesn't matter now. I'll take the little gold I have left and start my own business. Someplace safe, I hope. I'm just here. What do you want me to say? My farm was burned just like everyone else's. They had farms in Culm, right? They aren't so scary. People round here are just bitter because the Tuatha destroyed their lives. I guess it's mostly a matter of perspective. Tuatha? Are you mad? The only thing I know about the Tuatha is how they killed my cousins and put my granary to the torch. Who told you? Was it Froma? I knew she was weak. I need the gold, okay? The Tuatha took everything. The least I can do is take their money. Listen, spare me and I'll leave. Disappear. Just go where they can never find me. That's a promise. Goodbye.
I saw you coming. Hope you'd visit. Just about mad with worry. What with the freemen roaming the hills and caverns. Tell me, child, have you noticed a young woman about? She's quite fair, with red hair, a tattoo like mine across her cheek. It's been 3 days. Their campfires burn all through the night and cast unsettling shadows. They're the worst kind of bandits. Those who don't kill for excess, but for necessity. None of us wish to be without a roof over our heads, begging for our meals from any man or woman who passes us by. It's not what any of us planned. It was fate. I am no one. Everything that defined me, my livelihood, my family, my home, all of them were left ash by the Tuatha. Lyra is my life now. My newfound love, and the only person I have. Everyone, my wife, my son, my grandchildren, all of them were killed in the attacks. Nothing remains but Lyra. She and several of her friends went in search of a better place to make our camp. This wretched sun takes its toll, doesn't it? But they never returned, and I worry. Would you do an old man this one kindness? Would you help me find her? Thank you. I am not rich, not anymore. But what I have left to give is yours. It means nothing without my love. Lyra went in search of refuge in Oriata's tomb. A better place than this desolate cliff. I would try the cemetery on the hill where they buried all the old war heroes. She and her friends were crawling all over the hill near Oriata's tomb. Not exactly the way to show respect, but she meant well. She resisted my advances at first. Tried to use our differences in age to deny the connection. But in the end, fate played its beautiful hand. We began as friends. I was the hunter and she was my apprentice. But her skills quickly surpassed my own. She is a gifted woman, a true wonder. A fitting memorial for a great man. He saved our people from complete destruction. If I had the strength, I would climb that hill and pay my respects. Goodbye and good luck.
You're a welcome sight. A minute more and I'd be joining our friends on the hill here. Thanks for the assistance. I just figured everyone out here in the Forsaken Plain was either a refugee or one of the freemen. Looks like I was wrong. I don't mind it as much as most, but I was raised in Tyr, so I can handle the heat. Can't stand the bandits, though. It's impossible to get a decent night's sleep. You've got to watch your step in the Forsaken Plain. For every cave holds a bandit. Every refugee might be a cheat out to swindle us all. The freemen are especially fierce, for they're fighting not for the take, but for their very survival. Not so different than you or I, they are. Not all of us are from the village of Kulm. We come from all along the Tuili coast. Farmers and merchants, veterans and scholars. The Tuatha have put our possessions to the flame, but we will never accept defeat. Not so long as leaders like Lord Crass and Elrod Edmund act as our standard bearers. I'm a refugee, like the others in the tents. It's a desperate place. People will do anything to see the next morning. Steal, kill, you name it. Actually, I'm a bit ashamed to say. I'm searching for a grave, but not just any grave. The last resting place of Azo Raymond, richest of the Tuili merchants. They say he died early in the march west, claimed by the Forsaken Plain. Rumor has it he's buried with the famous rings of Azo. I could live a year on those. I'm glad to hear it. There's plenty of ground to cover between here and Rathir to the north, and another pair of eyes will be a huge advantage. Most of the graves are along the refugee route, usually surrounded by crude markings or gestures left by loved ones. It's a pity they couldn't do more. If I knew, I wouldn't be hiking all over this hill, reading names on worn gravestones. With my luck, it's on the other side of the Forsaken Plain. I heard Azo profited greatly from the war in the east, but that he was forced from his home when the Tuatha plundered Erethel. He moved west with the refugees. But the Forsaken Plain is no place for fat, wealthy merchants. They say he died quickly, with not a soul to mourn him. Bye.
I knew someone would come. They all said we were as good as dead, but I held out hope. I don't know why. Never had any reason to hope before. So what's your story? Grave robber, treasure hunter, or like us, a refugee in search of shelter? The name fits. We didn't have an easy life when we farmed the fields below Culm, but it was nothing like this. If the bandits don't get you, the starvation will. She's from the camp on the hill leading into a mare. She's a liar and a thief. Twice I've caught her sneaking into our tents to steal food. Worse than a boggart. Omer Vogard was Kuln's primary hunter, but it wasn't long after the Tuatha attacked that his hands gave out. Now he can't even hold a bow without shaking. I took over his job, and his heart. I tend to stalk my prey as opposed to shoot it. Something about looking it in the eye before it dies. There's respect in that. He is my beloved. Yes, there is a difference in our ages, but I believe that Omer's experiences have given him a lust for life, one to rival a man with half his years. We probably could have sought refuge in Rathir, but there is no way that Dokkalfar would have allowed us to stay. But if we don't belong there, where do we belong? I don't know much about Oriator, but what they taught in the village schoolhouse, before it was burned down. He was a war hero. Gallifore Fields, I'd gather. You did? Well, here I was about to start complaining about them. We've been trapped down here for days, unable to get past those blades, and you simply walk in and disable them, just like that. I'm impressed. I'll say thanks, but the person you're really going to want to talk to is Omer. He'd move mountains to find me. Come along now. The others are waiting back at camp. Bye.
Thank the gods. At last!
Let's go home. I'm sure Omer will want to speak with you. Bye.
I knew I could count on you to bring her back. I could see it in your eyes. A spark of recognition. You have a love too. Or did at one point, you know. There is no thanks worthy of this deed. But you were entitled to something. I was a hunter once. Those days are finished. Yours, it seems, are just beginning. Bye.
Not many people would aid a bunch of refugees with no standing and nothing to offer. You're different, and that's good.
of the Order, eh? What brings you to Helmgard? The Sacred Plains contract. Takes a particular sort to pull a ring out of a grave like that. Here's your pay. Wait, have you washed your hands? You've all the scrolls, then? Good. Nasty thieves, them kobolds. Here's your gold, then. That Freeman bastard that drove up Lucky Mine? Well done. Real Warsworn work, that. And here's your gold. Right then. Welcome. Hello?
Just give me a straight answer. Is the General still in the cradle of summer?
She is for as much good as it'll do her. But the cards don't lie. She'll never get that door open. Fate says it's so.
Yes. Well, then I suppose we'll just have to change fate, won't we?
Hello, I'm Orca Tetran, village healer. You're new in Amer. I never forget a face. Are you with the refugees? I'm sure you've heard about how Amer is the birthplace of modern herbalism, a cradle of enchanted flora, a haven for the wildest reagents. Me, I don't care about that. I like the people. We get all sorts of interesting folk in here, like Oddwald the Scribe, like you. Nope, I'm never bored, not in Amer. I've never met one so obsessed. He goes on and on about his life's work, as if other mortals will find his study of the Fae as fascinating as he does. You can usually find him holed up in his house across the way, but sometimes he spends time here with us in the tavern. They are a sorry caravan. I, for one, believe their stories. Look what the Tuatha have done across the sea, and what they intend to do if they arrive here. Gods forbid. What would stop them from sending warriors to hunt us down by our very hearths? The Tuatha will not rest until they break us. That is why we must never let them. Safe travels.
What do you need? Please, make yourself comfortable. We don't see too many travelers in Amer these days. Not with that forest of tents growing out front. Relax, and partake of what our small hamlet has to offer. I never heard of anyone by that name. Britt Hagney is our newest citizen, but he's not a merchant, just a quiet scholar and student. This is the birthplace of alchemy in the Feylands. These plains have been soaked in the deepest magic. Every leaf, every stem, every root holds secrets. If you want to know more about our history, and about the fascinating flora and fauna of the Forsaken Plain, speak to Molly upstairs. She's a sweetie. No problem. We just fixed one up all nice and tidy. You're welcome to it. Well, you know where to go if you need a place to rest. Refugees from the coast of Twili. They claim their village was burned by Tuatha, but I know better. The Tuatha here in the realm of the Summer Court? I think not. They began arriving several weeks ago, marching from Galafor with their belongings dragged behind them. We've given them all we can, but we only have so much. Come again.
You with that Docklefar woman? Well, between you and me, I think she might be a bit off her head. That's what the cards say, at any rate. Don't know much about it, really. I'm not from here, I'm just passing through. If you've got a knack for it, there's a living to be scratched out of fate weaving. Farmers like to know their yields in advance, at least. Nasty out there. But with Freeman plaguing the roads south, there's not much safer travel to be had. Cold comfort. Pleasant travels.
Isn't it a glorious day, as if Helios himself warms us with a smile? To what do I owe this courtesy? I only have a few moments to spare. The Godstorm awaits my return, and it doesn't like to wait. The name doesn't shake loose any memories. Was he a writer too? I have never laid my gaze upon it. Such a thing would not be proper. I am a dustling, a child of death. The cradle of summer must not be sullied by my taint. It is a good place to find the peace I need to complete my work, although the refugees have certainly slowed progress. I am not one for the cacophony of any kind. I don't know how the Fae in the cradle of summer can stand having us so near. Our mortal din is far too distracting, even for me. I was born in the city of Rathir, an orphan of the Wending. One day, I stumbled upon the Scholia Arcana library, and I found new life in the ancient books. My advice to them would be to gain some perspective. Villages grow and burn. There is only one event that is worth our attention, and that is the Godstorm. Of course, I don't typically prefer the company of others. Take the leader of these refugees, for example. Master Elrod Edmund, gruff,